Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at our list of 10 disturbing moments in LEGO games.
Leia's my sister?
For as cute and innocent as the LEGO games appear to be, they can dabble in some pretty screwed up material. Was there a disturbing moment we missed? Let us know down in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Classic Skywalker Ranch Barbecue. TT Games did a heck of a job keeping some of the morbid deaths in Star Wars intact. Jango Fett, Jabba, Zam Wesell. But the one bit of violence that remains to be somewhat haunting is Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
It's such a grim visual, seeing a minifig dragging half of another minifig's body, and Skywalker Saga really goes hard on Anakin's horrific transformation with the visuals, animation, and sound. Whoever thought LEGO could lean this hard into frightening territory? Keep your head on. Now, if you've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, you'll recall the gruesome demise of the menacing mechanic. Obviously, we cannot show him going into a blender because YouTube censors, but you can get an idea from the LEGO version. Besides, it's kind of brutal in its own way. Just as the propeller makes contact, the mechanic's head comes off and starts bouncing around. What makes us a little squeamish is the screaming of terror and possible pain. Can minifigs feel pain? Ew, we're gonna expunge that thought while we still can. Todd would be proud. LEGO Marvel Superheroes really let TT Games character animators go to town with all of the heroes and villains featured. For Venom, you could say they went all out. The absolute terror and viciousness that Venom brings is perfectly captured in this game, and it goes hard.
We always love running into you, Spider-Man!
Your first encounter with him in the main story feels like something straight out of a horror movie, like The Thing or Alien. His transformations are also super violent, something we would definitely expect out of a character created by Todd McFarlane. You know, the guy who made Spawn. The inside joke.
Yoda will always be with you.
Obi-Wan.
The other he spoke of.
Leia.
Though the subject matter itself is alarming, we have to admit that this was a creative way to give the adults something to laugh at. For Return of the Jedi, Skywalker Saga does address the whole thing with Luke and Leia in a somewhat subtle way. Upon hearing the big reveal, Luke puts on a revolted face while R2-D2 lets the sirens go off.
Leia's my sister?
Why is this a disturbing moment? Look, if you know, you know. We ain't spelling it out for you.
Luke! Where's Leia?
We got separated.
Silly but gross. This one would be along the same lines as the mechanic from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Obviously, you can't show LEGO characters performing such vile acts like taking out Davy Jones in the same manner that was shown in the movies. Except, they kind of did. And to make it even more violent, they wound up giving the heart sentience. And just look at the way it shudders in fear, man. They're killing off a cute little heart. It's gonna cost an arm, and another arm. Even with cartoony visuals and sound effects, LEGO can get a lot more graphic than it might intend to. Or not intend to. Who can say at this point? LEGO Star Wars 2 gave Chewbacca a specific attack that players could use at any given point. Simply invade the personal boundaries of any enemy, press the attack button, and Chewbacca will start popping arms off like there's no tomorrow. In other words, you've just found something more powerful than a lightsaber, and much more violent. A Death Relived. The movie version of Voldemort's death was already a tad traumatizing in the theater, but the LEGO version? It didn't make things much better. As if the low-pitched screaming wasn't haunting on its own, the sudden appearance of him made out of individual bricks really brought the whole thing together. The janky and blocky edges kind of hone in on that creepiness that PS1 horror games brought back in the day. We get why this was done, to simulate the way he dissolves in the movie, but it may have leaned too far into fear. Can't look away. Don't worry, this is the last death-related entry we have on the list, and yes, it is a little more graphic than we expected. Whereas the second LEGO indie game changed the ending to Raiders of the Lost Ark to have everybody dancing upon opening the Ark, the first LEGO indie game retained much of the scariness in the movie's Ark opening scene. LEGO minifigs are shown melting, while Belloc has his plastic limbs pop off like a Wookiee just tore through him. Bad role models.
This will be a day long remembered.
Much like the joke about Luke and Leia in Episode 6, this one is disturbing in a somewhat subtle context. If you visit the Jedi Temple, you'll notice a few of the Jedi younglings are hanging around. One of them will tell you about their dreams of becoming a Jedi Knight, like Yoda, Mace Windu, and Yarael Poof.
One day I'm gonna be as wise as Yoda, as strong as Master Windu, and as famous as Yarael Poof.
Thing is that we all know what happened to each of them. Yoda exiled himself and died alone, Windu is thrown out of a window and died, and Yarael Poof gets Order 66, aka died. Yeah, you might want to chase a different dream, kiddo. The bad ending.
All mine.
What is the deal with FMV cutscenes trying to traumatize the crap out of us? Seriously, no one was safe from these things, not even those who played Lego Island. Should you fail in catching the Brickster, you'll see what happens to Lego Island under his rule. The results are not pleasant in the slightest. You have buildings torn asunder, people crying and wailing in the streets, and Mama Briccolini loses her head. And that's just the short version. The uncut version paints a much darker picture.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.